The Morrie's Automotive Group is out here today with 3 compact sedans, the Focus, the Hyundai Elantra, as well as the Mazda 3. So what we'd like to do is give you enough information to make an informed decision on your next compact car. So this Mazda 3 is the Grand Touring, which is pretty much the gold standard of all the compact sedans. Mazda's been doing it right for so many years now, and now with their new Kodo design style and all the equipment you can get in this compact sedan, it feels like a larger car than it is. It's comfortable, it's quiet, it's reliable. I mean, really, it's hard to beat the Mazda 3 in this segment. Okay, so the Mazda 3 Grand Touring. Now this car basically is all the way loaded up with the exception of that adaptive cruise control. And it's got such a soft touch leather, even compared to the Focus, which is really nice. This seat you just kind of settle into. You can turn the heated seats on if you want, and they get hot as well. But the Mazda, if I have friends or family that are saying, hey, I'm looking at a new car, Mazda is one of the top 3 that I always say. That's because they're fun to drive, they're reliable, they're comfortable, and you're not paying a ton for it. Now this one does have a heads-up display, and it's got this cool screen here. And as far as infotainment go, the Sync 3 is a lot better than the last one at Ford, but this one is so user-friendly that it is definitely my top choice. You can push the home button, you can push the little music note here to get right into your audio, and this little scrolling wheel down here and the separate volume knob are crucial for me. I think that definitely makes a big deal because we spend a lot of time in our car, and if you're going to spend all that time in your car, you might as well know where stuff is and have it comfortable. So the Mazda has the 2.5 liter again, which is a little more, it feels a little peppier to me than maybe the other cars feel. I hope that kind of makes sense without, I know you can't drive them through the computer, but if you could, that would be the note to take away. That you put your foot down, it's gonna get up and go, and if you take your foot off of it and drive a little more lightly, you're gonna get awesome fuel economy. So the blind spot mirror, same with the Ford Focus as well. Now that is great safety equipment. All these new cars have adapted so much really, really good safety equipment into them. So much so that, some of the cars even drive themselves with that adaptive cruise. But overall, the way the dash is laid out, the way the seats feel when you get in here, this leather is just great. It's extremely comfortable, and it gives you a good sense of kind of feedback through the steering wheel. It's not a heavy turn, I don't want to say, but it feels like you're in control of the vehicle. Now, as far as pricing goes, the Mazda might be a little more once you load everything up than, say, the Hyundai, but it does feel like a more kind of substantial ride and drive. Where the Hyundai feels a little more kind of, you can get in, you're going to save about $4,000 or $5,000 with that equipment, but it's not the same driving experience. So if you're looking for a car that kind of gives you a little more, personality behind the wheel, the Mazda 3 might be it. So the 2016 Elantra is a little bit different this year. There's about 6 different trim levels. This one is the Sport. It's not the limited with the leather and all that, but with the Sport and the navigation system, you get a lot of value out of this vehicle. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder compared to the Mazda, which is a 2.5 liter with Sky Active. Fuel economy dips, but not by much. Once you get into this compact category, you're gonna be looking anywhere from 36 to over 40 miles per gallon on the highway, which is awesome. It can definitely add up at the pump when you start taking those miles away. But as far as the Elantra is concerned, I like the Sport trim level. You're gonna get that aggressive LED headlight up front, some cool wheels on the side, and plenty of space. It almost feels like you're in the Sonata because the compact car is gonna jump up to a mid-size sedan capable inside. So you're gonna have room for 5 adults in there. All right, so now we're in the Hyundai Elantra Sport trim level. Now this car is fun. I said it might not be as great as the Mazda, but it certainly is close. It's got a lot more kind of get up and go to it, and the brakes are really touchy, which is good because it drives almost like a little go-kart, you want to say. You just sort of get in and go. You're getting great fuel economy. Now this one does have that touch screen system where you can click map, and it's going to give you the really easy to use system. Hyundai and Mazda have 2 of the best infotainment systems in the business. Now from there you have satellite radio, you can stream all your Bluetooth through the steering wheel, whether that's phone calls or your music. Really, really cool, easy to use stuff. The seats, these are the cloth. Obviously this isn't the limited with the leather, but they're pretty comfortable and they have heat. So you're not gonna freeze in the wintertime, and you're also not gonna be roasting in the summer. When the heat comes on, they're really nice, and I mean, it's really comfortable. That's one thing about Hyundai, it's that maybe people haven't gotten out and driven them or don't know a lot about them, but the thing you do know is that they're reliable. Again, that 10-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty is awesome. That is certainly a great thing when you don't have to worry about your car. From there, the way the dash is laid out, everything is easy to follow right in front of you. They don't overcomplicate things, and that's something that Elantra has done since it basically came out. Surprisingly, the Elantra is really quiet. Now, it is almost considered a mid-size sedan just because of the interior volume space. So it's got a huge trunk, it's got plenty of room for 4 adults in here, and also from there, I mean, it just drives like a larger car than it really is. The Sonata is very well planted and it's very comfortable, but the Elantra feels very close to that. So maybe if you've been used to driving something that was a larger sedan and you want to get a little better fuel economy, you want to cut out that V6 and go to a 4-cylinder, the Elantra is certainly a way to go. You're going to save a ton of money when you switch to this car just in fuel costs alone. I mean, besides that, I think the Elantra is definitely the best value. So bang for the buck, this would be the car to pick, where the Focus kind of falls in right in the middle and the Mazda maybe tops out the category. I mean, with all the different stuff you can add into these cars, the sunroof in here is great. I certainly think this is a great pick in the compact sedan segment. So now over to the 2016 Focus Titanium Edition. So the Focus, like its other 2 competitors here, also has a 6-speed automatic transmission. This one is the 2-liter 4-cylinder, similar to the Elantra. I don't think there's a huge difference between the 3. Obviously, horsepower does change, but as far as get up and go, getting you into traffic, getting you out onto any kind of county road if you need to, the Focus is more than enough. Now, from the inside standpoint, there is a ton of creature comforts in the Titanium Edition. Not to mention the exterior wheels that are good looking. It all in all is a great little car. Now, as far as driving goes, I like the way the Focus handles. The Mazda's fun, the Hyundai feels definitely reliable, but down a little bit on power. And then when you get to the Focus, it kind of splits the two. All right, so now we're in the Ford Focus Titanium Edition. So the first thing I noticed when I got in here is that it has a heated steering wheel. I mean, it's November right now, and that is something I really could get used to. The heated seats are also pretty nice. I know it gets nice and chilly here in Minnesota, and having a multi-level heated seat is an awesome feature in a car. You can also get heated cloth seats in some of the other vehicles nowadays, which help out a lot because the leather doesn't get so hot in the summer or so cold, I guess, in the wintertime. This one has the Sync 3 system as well. If you've had a Ford before, or if you've maybe tried to use the Sync system, people have just had a lot of complaints about the old Sync 2 system, but the 3 is spot on good. It does everything you need it to do without any confusion. You can quickly change your audio, your phone, navigation, all that stuff right on the touch screen. And I mean, that's all great, but I didn't think the last one was so bad. This one's just a lot better. As far as ride and drive go, the thing you get with the Focus, the Mazda is fun to drive. It's definitely a fun car. That zoom Mazda mentality comes through. The Hyundai, it can feel maybe a little bit slower with the 2-liter compared to that 2.5, where this also has a 2-liter. But I think the Focus just kind of splits the middle of the two. It's sporty, it's fun to drive, but it's also going to get great fuel economy. You've got Ford as a pretty reliable brand nowadays. You're not getting the warranty like you'd get with the Hyundai, that 10-year 100, but there's more than enough with this car. I mean, the final impression, who should buy the Focus maybe over the Hyundai or the Mazda? I think the big jump would be a lot of the technology in here is good. The heated steering wheel is so great that, I mean, alone just for that it's awesome. But a compact car that gives you enough room for 4 adults, you have a reasonable amount of trunk space as well. It's such a tough comparison. I really don't know which one, if there's a clear standout in my mind. It kind of depends on what you're looking for. I like the American-made Ford. I like that it's fun to drive and it's really comfortable. These seats with the leather, there's just enough bolster in there to hold you where you want to be, and you could go on a really long road trip and get really good fuel economy. Now, that being said, if I was going to buy one, I'd go up and get the Focus ST and have a ton of fun for a little bit more money. But hey, if you're looking for a reliable car that's going to get you through the winter well, and that's going to be reliable and not that expensive, the Focus is certainly a great option. On behalf of the Morrie's Automotive Group, thanks for watching our overview on these 3 vehicles. Now, if you'd like to test drive any of these, make sure to call, click, or stop by today. Thanks again for watching, and make sure you buy happy.